Do you want to talk about old Tucker Carlson at the top of the hour over here? I think that this was the natural conclusion for Tucker, right? He's going to start his own weird Alex Jones style InfoWars network. Okay, they're going to have all of the brightest minds, Elon Musk and Alex Jones and Vivek Ramaswamy and the Patrick Bateman guys and the Tate brothers, and they're going to be the last soldiers for conservatism in America. And it'll be really interesting to watch some of their debates that they have, as Andrew Tate tries to get Tucker Carlson on board with Islam as a religion. I can't wait for them to broach interesting topics like that. But I think that he's going to make a small fortune off of this. I think that a lot of gullible people will sign up for this and he will make money, but I don't think he'll ever be relevant. Like, a story making machine, a story generator. You're not going to read about him on Mediaite and Newsweek and all these other, Twitter feed. Like, it's not going to be as big as it was when he was on Fox News ever again. I think that this kind of seals that deal.
Yeah, I think much like Megyn Kelly, who of course was really popular and controversial while she was actually on TV, but then, you don't hear about Megyn Kelly as much these days. She still has her show. She's gone independent, right? She does her thing. She has an audience, a pretty big audience, but like, she doesn't ruffle feathers in the same way. There's something about going independent like this where it's like, yeah, you might make a lot of money. You might have your hardcore audience, clips of you, interviews. It might go viral every once in a while, stuff like that. But for some reason, just not being on Fox News when you're in your little echo chamber like this, it just makes your content resonate less, I feel like, when you're someone like Tucker Carlson, who of course is known for being a mainstream media figure. I wouldn't say that necessarily about people who started off independent. In fact, I think sometimes, like a Joe Rogan, for example, going from independent to like a Spotify sanctioned product podcast, I think that actually arguably hurt his numbers. But when it comes to Tucker doing the inverse, going from a mainstream space into a supposedly independent one, I do think it limits his reach because so much of the audience that originally cared about him just, they're not as online. They're boomers. They were watching him because he was put in front of them on Fox News and they liked what he had to say. But, they might not follow him down this rabbit hole. That being said, I totally agree with you, Zach. It's going to make him fabulously wealthy, at least at the moment.
More than he is.
Right. I'm sure he's already massively fucking rich. But yeah, I mean, this will be a massive cash infusion for him as all of his diehards and sycophants, fork over, $9 a month or $72 a year for unlimited access to the Tucker Carlson network. You guys can see his little, new branding here. He's got the red pill, very original. Looks like every other
virtue signaling.
Yeah, dude, and it's just such a generic design. It's like every goddamn right-wing podcast has a red pill in their logo now. It's pretty unoriginal. But yeah, let's take a quick look here at this announcement video, because I do have a prediction and I want to ask your opinion on something too, Zach, about the direction that this might go in. But let's take a quick look at this pretty embarrassing announcement.
They told you the guys torching Wendy's in 2020 were mostly peaceful.
I like how I said Wendy's too, and not like the small mom and pop barbershop on the corner or something that you could actually get people to care about. Like Wendy's,
where his audience's heart's at in their stomach.
They said that masks worked. They told you the vax was safe. They tried to convince you that Russia blew up its own pipeline. The corporate media lied too much, and it killed them. We're driving to see Julian Assange.
Believe me when I tell you.
Wait. I should be boycotting Bud Light.
Fantastic job.
Thank you. That was amazing.
Boy, it is. If you took one of those Kid Rock cruise ships and turned it into a news network, I think that's what you're going to have on your hands here. It's just going to be like, oh yeah, this guy from the Jersey Shore who says that the Tucker is the only truth teller, he's going to be on. Pauly D, what's up, man? Like, let's talk about how inflation is hurting you, or, oh, my man, Kid Rock is here to ball with us. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna bang a dang diggy. No, it's I don't know. It's very boomer. I don't know. I don't even have really funny jokes to make about it, other than the fact that when it started off and he's standing on that beach, it looks like one of the videos that they would show you right as you're about to be like, enter a dystopian situation where like your company has gone overboard, and now they're going to try and control your whole life, and then you're going to be running away from machines at some point. I worry about that.
Yeah, totally. What I don't understand about this is like, it doesn't really seem to be presenting or promising anything new for Tucker. Like, yeah, we've heard him talk about the BLM rioters. We've heard him wax about the vaccine at length, right? We've seen him interview Kid Rock. We've seen him sit down with Donald Trump. How many times now? Dana White. Yeah, just like all of the trotting out all of the usual suspects of the conservative online movement.
He's still got to wrangle down Dale Earnhardt Jr. if he wants to be taken serious. I mean, I see Dale. What's Dale up to?
But yeah, I just don't really get how this is like worth the pay, like the pay point of $9 a month or $70 a year or whatever. Like, I'm sure some people will pay it just because they love Tucker. I'm not saying that he won't make money off of this. I'm sure he will, but I feel like there needs to be something more of a hook here for Tucker. Like what I would do if I were him, and he might be doing this, is like actually reaching out to other personalities on the conservative right to actually create a network, because that's what it's called, the Tucker Carlson network. So it's, I guess, implied that at some point other people will join. But if you just watch this ad, it just kind of looks like, yeah, Tucker Carlson doing the same shit he's been already doing for free on X/Twitter for the last several months now, uploading goofy interviews with like Obama's ex-gay lover who's on crack, and talking to Kid Rock for the 45th time. It doesn't really seem to be promising much new or worth paying for. I do think, if Tucker actually tries to make this a real network, and brings on his favorite people and actually like gives them fucking jobs, even someone like Jimmy Dore, who's homies with Tucker Carlson. Like if he actually gave, Jimmy Dore like a show on the Tucker Carlson network, and he gave Andrew Tate a show on the Tucker Carlson network, and pick whatever fucking goons you want, and he actually incorporated
from my jail cell in Romania. Here's
exactly, like then it would actually, I think, be worth paying for in people's eyes. But this, I'm just like, this is just the same shit. How is this anything all that new? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, different toilet, same shit. People want to see Tucker. If he says you can only see me and my content and have your views affirmed by me, if you pay $7 a month or $10 a month or whatever the fuck it is, yeah, people are going to pay that. They're not going to think twice about it, dude. They're just going to add it to their fucking thing. They'll be like, I need Tucker. I got to watch my Tucker. There's a lot of people on oxygen right now in this country where their favorite pastime is watching Tucker. Like, they're going to find that $10. They're going to fucking pay it to him. And I mean, of course they're getting a worse deal, but they'll probably cut their fucking Fox cable to if he produces enough content. Like, I think that he genuinely has like the majority of those people in the palm of his hand. Like, out of all of the conservative news hosts that are from that era, that are from that nebulous of Fox News, I think he's by far the most powerful. So if any of them are going to pull a lot, it'll be Tucker. And I just think about my own grandparents. Like, they fucking love Tucker Carlson, and not a damn thing I could say to fucking change that. They love watching Tucker. Oh, we're going to watch Tucker tonight. I'm like, okay, well, that's crazy.
Yeah,
but here it is.
Yeah, and I also anecdotally have heard from some Republicans that I know that they don't watch as much Fox now because he's not on there. Like, they don't find Jesse Waters to be a suitable replacement. They're not interested in Jesse Waters in the same way they were in Tucker Carlson. What I think Tucker should do, like I said, is actually create a network. I think if he actually wants to compete with the mainstream media in a serious way, then that's what he has to do. And he should really look at bringing on talent like Megyn Kelly, as I said, another ex-Fox News anchor who is now independent. I mean, if he actually brought on some heavy hitters like that, I think it potentially could become a competitive force in right-wing media, an actual competitor to the likes of Fox News. But in lieu of that, I don't really see this becoming anything more than like, what Bill O'Reilly did or what Megyn Kelly did after getting canned from Fox, which is just
Bill O'Reilly had to pay a fucking small fortune in settlements on his way out. I think that Fox News and the Murdochs picked up the tab for old Tucker. But yeah.
I think Fox picked up the tab for Bill O'Reilly too. I think they had to pay out all those.
Did they pay out that shit? Yeah.
So
it's expensive to have a pervert be your number one fucking anchor. Tell you what. No.
They should all start their own honestly, all the ex-Fox anchors, fucking Glenn Beck, Megyn Kelly, Bill O'Reilly, and now Tucker. If they joined forces and actually did this together, that could, be formidable.
Yeah, just call it Blazing Up with Tucker in America,
Yeah, I guess that's already what Glenn Beck tried to do. The Blaze was what Tucker is now trying to do. Let's see if Tucker's more successful at it, because the Blaze never really took off. I mean, I've always heard that they, were in the red financially, that it never truly became profitable. And outside of Glenn Beck and for a while Tommy Lahren, it never truly seemed like they were able to attract serious talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people on the Blaze aren't that compelling. It's kind of just a bunch of losers over there from what I see. So it'll be
very
interesting.
Innovative. I just went over to the Blaze and they have like an article and it's like leftists run for president to show the horrors and brutality of abortion and make sure her ad runs. And it's like, dude, this is just like downright propaganda. This is like nobody's ever seen before, that pretended she was a leftist so that you could run this exact article. Like really, really low IQ stuff over there.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if this becomes the next Blaze or not. The fact that it is called, though, the Tucker Carlson Network, I do feel like suggests that it will be more Tucker Carlson centric, right? Like, the Blaze was not called the Glenn Beck Network. The whole point of the Blaze was that, like, yes, Glenn Beck was the main dude, but it was going to be a network where they brought on other voices and grew the, conservative online ecosystem that way. This is literally called the Tucker Carlson Network. So it does sort of imply that he's going to be the main attraction. But like I said, if I were to offer him advice, not that I want him to succeed, it would be to actually recruit some serious talent, because just that's not enough. Like, I mean, it's enough for your diehards to pay, but like, it's not going to actually become a competitive force in any serious way.
The downside of that is taking what people want, which is Tucker Carlson, sitting in his stupid log cabin in a sweater, right? Talking about all the fucking jab and how they're coming. The America we used to know has been disappearing. And where has it gone? I look to my left and I look to my right, and I think it's gone to the blue-haired, woke, mind virus. But good blue-blooded Americans aren't going to stand for that. They're rising up. And if you want to rise up with us, tune in tomorrow on Tucker Carlson. That's what people want from the guy. And I think you'll get into like a Cenk Uygur situation where you try and expand too much and then you start bleeding money and then you do what the Blaze did. You know what people didn't want from Glenn Beck? Anything but his 1.5 hour, 2 hour fucking show every day, right? Like, that's what people want from you. You know what Joe Rogan did that was smart? He can't say this a lot, but he didn't try to get too big for his britches. He didn't expand. He didn't do anything other than the formula that worked, which was him sitting at that wooden fucking table and just talking shit, right? He didn't say, oh, I'm going to have young Jamie get an hour and I'm going to have Joey Diaz do a podcast on my network, right? Sometimes it works, right? Tom Segura was able to figure it out in the comedy realms, but with news, it's less likely to succeed, right? Breaking Points has dipped their toes in it, I think, successfully by getting really good talent that their audience knew, and also just kind of recreating the formula, to be only two people hosting a news show that's pretty much daily. Like, it's too much. So they had to bring in some other people if they wanted to fill that content void and give people, as much content as they, I think, wanted to. But it's very difficult to maneuver, and I think that he'll have to watch that. I hope he shoots himself in the foot. I'm praying on his downfall, guys. I don't want to see him do well at all. I want to make a mockery of him until he's irrelevant and then say sayonara, but hasta la vista, baby. You know what I mean?